and apparently wasting her time. Okay. Okay. She then goes on to forward this to other people. Okay, many other people. The whole department. Why? Why would she do that? And that's, I'm surmising here, but to make me feel watched and like I did something wrong. Thank you for that recap. Most appreciated, and thank you for your efforts. When I asked you, what I had asked you is why you ignored Tora on the sheet, instead only picked Tara to confirm, and then said if it's because of the email address and it's a by-the-book policy verification standards, I can arrange that as well. What I was asking is if it's necessary for me to do the same thing again and email you from a Tora account and submit the same form with the same information that you already have now, as it seems to be your policy and non-attendance release. Or if you can just take the required info as it is without an email address. I like to read your policy because I sense that you are annoyed at me asking what I view as a reasonable question. I'm simply trying to have the letter for Tora under the same requirements for release as Tara, since it seems the policy would be consistent. If you want to use the Social Security for both, by all means do. Whatever is easiest for you, but please X out the two first sets of numbers. I see you've CC'd some folks. Wonderful. Thank you for the support. Great to know the military's young folks are in such capable hands. I had actually included Tara and Tora and added Kara to the letter before having to ask again because it was ignored. I'd included Kara because I thought it was part of the confusion, but it was never my name. When you explained this, I resigned to it. But it is included on the attachment here for your convenience. I'll include it again below. Hope to get this pesky snag out of this pesky snag with you soon. Thanks again for your help and support. Emoticon. How does she write back? Please send a state or federal ID with legal name is all we need to clarify this issue. Many thanks. Please send your policy. See, so she's ignored my question and she's ignored my request again. Ms. Green, this is becoming somewhat dismissive and unprofessional. I've asked you the same question twice and you've deflected and ignored it both times. You ignored my request to view your policy. You are gathering information, including my address, birthday, names, and now want more information. You did not fill out a letterhead for your school. Can you kindly act cooperatively or redirect me to, I know I typed this phone, sex or typing, the original party who is informative, helpful, prompt, and polite. And no, it doesn't seem what you actually need based on policy, but rather your personal opinion as you change the way this worked midway through arbitrary reasoning. Okay? And I don't hear anything from her. Okay. This then goes on. So she dismisses me, and then I get a thing on how she's not dismissing me. So that lady stops talking to me. Dear Miss Jones, please understand we are trying to help you and also ask that you look at the situation from our perspective. I don't understand why this is getting emotional. In this day and age, we have experienced a number of attempts by individuals to use us as a means to represent themselves as someone they are not. This has forced us to take additional measures to ensure the accuracy of information we provide. I'm not sure why you need this letter, but it appears it may be to help clear you for some type of a requirement to show that you've not been enrolled in another college or this institution. I reviewed all email that Miss Green has sent you, and I don't believe any of them were dismissive or non-professional. She doesn't answer my questions, but okay. I asked her to obtain further identification once you start to ask the additional names to be, but I ask it from the beginning. So they're going out of order. It's on the sheet. I ask it before, and then they go, well, we asked this after this. No, you didn't. I asked it from the beginning. Once you ask for additional names to be added to the letter, it was out of normal course of operations for our office, which requires greater review. Please provide the documentation request, or we'll consider the attached document as meeting your needs to close this action. So they're already threatening to close it because I've asked a question. You may have the agency requesting this documentation contact us directly. Thank you for understanding. Dr. Dalton. Right, and when people throw that tends to be defensive. Okay, Hello, and thank you for responding to my email. I can appreciate that you feel sentimentally towards your colleague, and I am sure your academy is full of best intention. I regret to inform you that neither of you have answered my question. I'd appreciate it if you did. Why are you releasing information apparently in violation of your privacy policy without ID for one name and then requiring more information than is standard for the other? There were 2 names I needed addressed on that sheet. Miss Green chose to ignore your own form's inclusions. If it's not possible to release non-attendance for previous names, why is it on the sheet, which does not state an ID is needed? Furthermore, the ID doesn't help for previous names, so I wanted to use the provided Social Security as means of searching the previous names. Include Torah, which was on the sheet and was ignored. If the procedure is to send in a request and all the information on the sheet, including personal information of which you've attained plenty at this point, a current ID only provides a current name that was only asked for one name. Again, if the policy is to do what I did to attain my name release non-attendance letter, I've done what is required. And I'd like you to kindly show me where your policy flip-flops based on hunches and intuitive feelings. I've now asked for your policy twice, and because you've been made privy to my emails, I'm asking for a 4th time to not have my perfectly valid questions dismissed. Because though you feel differently, it comes across as unprofessional. I'm willing to fill out the sheet again, provide all the previously needed info, but a current ID does not have 2 names on it, as you're aware. I can send this to you from a Torah Jones email, since that seems what you deemed a valid ID, and the reason you are this thing's a mess on mine. You're resenting an unsigned missive without the letterhead I had requested. Is a letterhead with signature possible? So you see, they just keep ignoring my questions. They keep ignoring my everything, my requests. Okay, then someone else answers. Miss Jones, this is not a Privacy Act FERPA issue. It is a concern for someone we don't know asking for clearance for non-attendance under multiple names. I can understand your reluctance to provide any further ID, and I respect that. So to solve this impasse, if this is an NCAA eligibility issue, please have the institution contact us directly so we can help you. They're just drawing all kinds of conclusions I never stated to get out of this. Okay, no one's bringing this up. They're bringing it up. I'm like, okay, so you don't wish to share a policy in which you've already stated the stipulation under the reasoning that is a non-issue or is not applicably relevant, though it is the exact hindrance in question. Is that what you're saying? This is now the 5th time I'll be asking the same aforementioned questions. No one has addressed my original question, nor the question of letterhead, nor why the filled out sheet doesn't suffice, though it includes previous names without requiring more identification. I respect that you do not wish to disclose student records. Luckily, I was never a student, so this is not an issue. Can you kindly answer my question? I'm not sure why it takes so many times or being forwarded to so many staff members, but I'm grateful that you've chosen to all get involved, as you are now inclusively representing an entire entity as opposed to an individual. Kindly answer why, if it is breached policy, you continue to release my info under one cherry-picked name without ID and absolutely refuse to include any other previous names, even though the info on the sheet meets your policy regulations. Miss Jones, you haven't answered mine either. Do you see this behavior, you guys? So I understand your frustration. He's now frustrated. He didn't even ask a question. What agency needs this letter? He didn't ask it as a question before. Checking with our compliance officer. It is common for colleges to interact directly. He's talking about shit that doesn't matter. So you see this deflective behavior? Okay, and my time is up, so I'm gonna switch. Oh wait, no, I'll just keep recording. I'll edit it. I can only put 15 minutes online for YouTube, okay? Okay. I will answer the question you have now posed. I need the information from me that, given in the event I am denied an opportunity because of your institution's possibly erroneously logged information, I have it in a timely fashion. Now please answer mine for the 6th time. Thank you for understanding my frustration. He goes on to completely ignore my question. Miss Jones, in conversation with Mr. Salvador, our NCC, he's talking about something that doesn't matter. We stand ready to help you, and should in the event I am denied the opportunity because of institutions possibly erroneously logged info, we will work directly with an institution to clear you. We consider this action closed until we hear from another institution about your erroneously logged info. He's like mockingly quoting me, okay? Or at least suggests some mocking. And he's yet to answer any of the questions. Okay. This has gone through 3 people and everyone has dodged the question. Your policy allows for individuals to have access to their non-attendance record, or you wouldn't have released mine. I need this issue cleared before it denies me another opportunity. Why are you changing your policy flippantly to not comply with what is my individual right? 7 times I'm asking the same question and getting the boot. I'd like the email to your head of your school. Thank you. Is that the name of your institution? Are you guys serious right now? This is professional to you? I feel like I'm talking to an 8-year-old schoolyard bully. I mean, you guys fucking serious? Who's lying? Who's being an asshole? My questions are valid. They're the ones being super inappropriate, ignoring or doing this shit. What is the name of your supervisor or school's owner? You are blatantly ignoring my rights and questions, and I'm tired of it. An individual has the right to clear their name for your institution's error, and it does not require an institution. Your stipulation in releasing one name proved that, Jim. Your supervisor's email, please. Miss Jones, we're obviously talking past each other. We're not understanding my message. You are not understanding my message, and it's equally obvious that I'm missing your request. I keep understanding his message. It's just not relevant. We cleared you on basis of a phone call to my office manager who is not here this week. How convenient. Even though an unusual request for us, she was confident enough for us to clear you based on the first name you gave us. When you added names, it came to my attention that we could be in a situation where someone trying to take advantage of us. In discussion with our compliance officer, he agreed that it's always best to head these off directly to the other school to school. But it's not required that a school needs it, so this is really, it has nothing to do with anything. To be direct, we would like to know who is accusing us of erroneously entering data into the NCC system or of any system. I would have missed it, but I don't see where you gave us a school that has put the erroneously information is putting you in this bind. If you want to know in writing the school is accusing us, they're talking about something, and here's the name of our lawyer. Right. Okay, this is not defensive. To echo Mr. Dalton, if the institution or organization is requesting the information, sends me a formal request for athletics data, we will respond in the most accurate way possible, providing that we have a release on the file, the individual notice on. They're talking about shit that doesn't matter. I'd like your supervisor's name. If you're refusing that as well, state it. I didn't add names. I put it in the required form, which your team has ignored profusely. The form, which is, by the way, all your policy had required to release my information. You can gladly use my social to check your system for any attendance of other names. You are now making up yet another whimsically and rightly stated emotional amendment to your policy, which you refuse to officially quote or disclose outside of your already stated hearsay, contradictory as well, and saying that I must wait to find that another entity found erroneously logged info, which in no way clears my name or record of the issue now, but futurizes it to an almost guaranteed issue, as I do not wish to be associated with your school, nor wait for the untimely lag that this is a good example of, to have it cleared again. I've asked you the same question 7 times, which is why I now like your supervisor's name. Can I call you? No, I'm overseas, as previously mentioned. Check IP if you're unsure. Are you refusing to give me your supervisor's email? And they all stop writing. You guys?